Cause if you really fuck with me the way you say you fuck with me, then fuck with me the way you say you fuck with me. Yeah.
Hi, Lee. Hi. Thank you for spending some time talking with us today. Okay, I want to just get into your background a little bit. I know you were born in Brooklyn, but you also claim the Lower East Side.
Yes, definitely. Have to.
Yeah. What neighborhood in Brooklyn?
Downtown Brooklyn. So basically everywhere downtown, but Boerum Hill, Fort Greene. I moved around a lot in that area.
Okay.
Yeah.
So no particular block. You were pretty mobile.
It's kind of crazy because coming from New York, everybody has like, oh, this is my part of New York, but the place I spent most of my time was Union Square on the steps, which is kind of funny.
What was your Union Square period? Like, what were the years you would say you were there?
I would say from 2008 to current.
Okay.
Like, I've been there since I could literally leave my house.
Okay. And you attended the famous LaGuardia High School,
Yeah.
the Fame School. What, do people call it the Fame School?
Yeah, it's the Fame School. Well, there's like a little beef between PPAS and LaGuardia, but our school is definitely the Fame School. Their school is just where Fame was shot, the most recent one.
All right.
Who cares? No one even seen that version. No, I'm just
I want to ask you what it was like commuting from Brooklyn every day to LaGuardia.
hell.
It was.
It was hell.
Okay, because that's like an hour.
It's like it's like about an hour train ride.
Did you? But I guess it was okay. Like you have the MetroCard pass and whatnot. So
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
All right.
My favorite thing was to steal other people's MetroCard passes. So you have a couple of them. So just in case you run out of swipes that day.
Oh, right. Because I think you guys, how many swipes do you get?
I think you get 2 or 3. I haven't been in high school in a long time, but I think it's 3 swipes.
All right. The part about the commute I wonder about, because at what age did you started commuting at age 13?
I started commuting at the age of 10.
All right.
But at that time, I was walking to school, so it wasn't as stressful. But I started being able to take the train by myself long extents at about 11, 12.
All right.
So I've been in Union Square ever since I was about like 11 or 12.
Young.
Very young.
So a big thing in New York City is street harassment. What's kind of like your go-to method for blocking it out?
For a long time, I would curse people out, but it's just not good for your day. So I just started to ignore it. As a woman, I feel like, especially living in New York City, you kind of just have to have a mental block. Like, I have this joke with my friends, like, if you don't call my name 5 times, like, I don't know you. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not stopping on the street for you. Guys stop me all the time, like, hey, beautiful, oh, what's your name? Or blue shirt, like, you know what I mean? Whatever it is. And I just don't have time for it. There's too much street harassment going on for me to acknowledge anybody.
So you just block it out?
Yeah, I block it out.
And there's some people who are like, oh, I at least say thank you. You don't.
I think if you say God bless you, I'll say God bless, because I just think that's disrespectful to God to not, you know what I mean, reply. But then I always think, like, is God okay with you using his name to hit on me?
That's a good point.
Did you and God have a conversation about this? Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? But I think, why do I have to say thank you? If you're not saying anything disrespectful to me and I'm in a good mood, I may say thank you. But I know you're just hitting on me to talk to me, so I try to just avoid the conversation.
Okay. Do you use earbuds or anything like that too?
Sometimes I try the earbud trick where you put in your earbuds and you're not listening to music. Yeah, that works sometimes.
All right, so staying in New York, because you've been hanging out a long time.
Yeah.
The party scene in New York is just not what it used to be. There's a lot of talk about that.
Everything in New York is not what it used to be, but the party scene especially.
Why do you think that is? Like, why?
Well, when you raise the prices so that no creatives can be here, and then you raise the prices of creative spaces, and no one can pay to get in the party and no one can pay to throw the party, there's not really a large space for parties. When I was younger, I threw many parties squatting, like literally just found a space, threw a party in the space, wasn't even supposed to have the space, wasn't supposed to be in the space at all, gets shut down by the cops, you know, stuff like that, but it is so much fun. And if we didn't have squatters like Basquiat and Andy Warhol, we wouldn't have New York culture. So I think that when you take away the culture of New York, you take away the fun and you take away the party scene.
Do you think social media has anything to do with it, where people don't even
I think social media has a small part to do with it, but I don't, because I came up in the Tumblr era, and Tumblr actually united youth culture. So you would see all these kids from Tumblr, but then they'd all have Tumblr meetups, which is where you'd meet up in parks and you'd all hang out in a park. Or I used to throw these things called New York City water fights, where it'd be like a random water fight in Central Park and everybody would just bring their own water guns. And then they had the pillow fights, and we had silent raves. So I don't think social media created a disconnect to the youth. I think that the disconnect happened when we couldn't find any places to throw our events anymore.
Huh, interesting. Yeah, that makes sense. When you've lived in Atlanta.
Yeah.
You're spending time in Los Angeles.
Yes.
How do people party in those places?
So Atlanta, it's pretty much house parties or parties on the Strip, which is Edgewood. And those parties are cool. The thing about Atlanta parties is like, it's very much like is this party gonna get shot up tonight? Is it not? Like, you don't really ever know what's gonna happen. Right. But it's always fun. Like, you know what I mean? The kids are really down to earth. All the parties are ratchet. Like, no one dresses up for parties in Atlanta. Like, they come, like some kids, you dress up if it's like an art gallery event, but those are very rare. And it's pretty much like people just come like the way they're dressed at home, and they just turn up, they get drunk, and it's fun. Or they have parties like around the universities, and like, but it's not like New York culture where it's like art and fashion infused with the gay scene. And I love New York parties. It's the best.
And the DJs.
Yeah, exactly. Everything. It's like we're literally like the life of just amazingness, I think, in my opinion.
I agree. And the thing about New York too is the way you get people from everywhere coming together.
And it's just like a cultural infusion and a cultural experience every time you party in New York.
All right, so what's the party scene in Los Angeles then? Uh-oh. Shaking head.
I'm so funny. I really don't like the party scene in LA. I think that majority of parties in LA are pretty whack to me, unless it's like a Hills party. Hills parties are nice. It's just like a bunch of celebrities roll up to an event and do celebrity shit.
Okay.
But it's not like dirty, and it's not grimy, and it's not fun. Like, they're not free. Like, everybody stands on the wall. People don't really dance. Like, LA parties to me are like a bunch of people standing around with like, oh, I got this bottle and this much money, and I got girls around me, and you know, I got all this money, and I'm gonna throw it at the girls. It's like, you're cheesy. Just stop.
Okay.
And no one in LA can dress. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you're from LA. Sorry if you think you can dress in LA. Like, you can't dress. Just stop. Just give it up.
It's a weird conglomeration of styles, I find, in LA. Yeah.
At least in Atlanta, like, people in Atlanta just are weird and funky. Like, in LA, it's just every girl looks the same to me.
All right. Uh-oh. Shots fired by Leaf on Los Angeles. Okay, so let's bring it back to New York. I want to discuss Nicki, Minaj, and Remy Ma. She-Thur was like a huge thing a couple months ago. I don't want to really get into who you think won the battle. I think that's sort of immaterial. I have a theory, though. I feel like you think nobody won.
I don't think either of them won. I think they both did what they did. It's rap beef. I don't think we have to limit who is the queen of New York or any of that stuff. I think that a lot of nasty things were said between the both of them that was just unnecessary. I think that, I don't even know where it stemmed from. Maybe it had been some unresolved beef from before. But I think both Remy and Nicki deserve the spots that they have, and they deserve the spot of both being New York queen. You know?
No, there's definitely space for both of them.
Yeah.
Do you think, though, that there was something of like almost like people were ready to take Nicki down? Like, it wasn't about the beef as much as it was like she's been queen long enough.
When you're at the top, everybody's trying to take you down. Because if there's a bottom, there's a top, and there's people from the bottom trying to reach the top. So I think that Nicki knows what her spot is like, what it looks like to be that high up. And I think Nicki has solidified herself in hip-hop for the rest of hip-hop culture. I don't think anyone can take her spot, even if they do come now and try to. They may be able to knock her off. Maybe she won't have the same streak she was having before, but you can't take Nicki's spot. Nicki's spot is Nicki's spot. She carved it out for herself. Yeah, that's true.
So... her list of accomplishments is insane.
Insane.
All right, so
just like no one can take Remy's spot. Remy's spot is Remy's spot, you know? And I think that's why I thought it was funny, because I'm like, you guys are fighting. It's like if you put applesauce and orange juice together and was like, which one is better? And it's like, I really don't know. I would have them both at one meal. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, does it really matter? Like, you know? But, you know.